Proverbs 12:1. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, but whoever hates correction is stupid. If I could go back to 7th or 8th grade, one of the many things that I would change is whenever it comes to algebra class, I would be one of the students who would raise my hand and be called on to go up to the board, the whiteboard, and to work out the problem where the teacher would correct us. Because that's not the way I approached math in 7th and 8th grade. I don't know how they teach math today, but back then the teacher would lecture for a while, and then eventually she would call on a student to come up to the board and begin to work the problem in front of the whole class. And as they were going wrong, she would correct them. She would assist them and to help them. But instead of longing to do that, me and all my buddies, our heads would hit the floor. We would avoid eye contact at all costs. We would do everything in our power not to be called on. Why? Because we didn't want to be embarrassed in front of the class. We didn't want to be corrected. And no doubt about it, if I'm doing an algebra problem, I'm going to get corrected by the teacher. And so instead, we were far more concerned with our appearance in front of our peers than our own actual ignorance. And yet, as an adult looking back, I think, how foolish. Who cares what another 7th grader thinks about you? And yet, if you get called on and go in front of the board, you're going to learn more in the midst of your mistakes than anything else. The correction by this loving teacher is actually a gift in that moment that is going to change you. The book of Proverbs is like a father writing to a son. And he's saying, here's how to best approach life. So he comes in chapter 12, and he says, whoever hates correction is stupid. He uses a word here that as a kid I actually wasn't allowed to use in my house. In my house, that was actually the S word. You weren't allowed to say it. And while it's right that we shouldn't allow kids to call other kids stupid or call other people stupid, make no mistake about it here, the biblical writer is making it very clear what it means whenever you and I hate correction. That behavior, the text says, is stupid. It's ignorant. It's brutish. The imagery that is here is actually, you're basically like a dumb cow. A cow that's now driven by its own stomach, that can't look past its immediate desires. And one thing that should distinguish us as a human being is we should be able to push past the immediate negative consequence in order for a better future outcome. And what the Father is telling the Son is, if you want to live a wise life, be able to look past the immediate uncomfortableness and actually seek out, desire correction. And you know, we know very well that we are fallen people that live in a fallen world. We're in desperate need of correction. That's one of the great tasks of the Bible, is it's meant to correct us, to change us, to rebuke us, to reprove us, to send us on a better way. And if you and I have been transformed by the gospel of Jesus Christ, if we understand His grace and His wisdom and His knowledge, well, that should humble us to the extent now that we desire to be corrected. We want God's words to change us. We want a sermon on a Sunday morning to convict us. We want a loving community around us who is willing to come to us and say, Kevin, I love you, but you're wrong here. Turn to a right way. And the writer of Proverbs says, whoever loves that discipline loves knowledge, but whoever hates correction is stupid. Let me give you a very simple encouragement today. From a biblical perspective, don't be stupid. Love the correction that God has sent into your life and experience the invitation to life that He is now giving you. And that invitation comes as we are willing to be corrected by the Spirit, by His Word, and by His loving family. Whoever loves discipline loves knowledge, and whoever hates correction is stupid. And let me give you one final challenge. Share this with your mom and say, hey, Mom, on Facebook, on social media, hey, Mom, this is the one time where I really can say the S word. Have a great day.